Yeah, man.
Hey, so this is Jason Panton representing Dubwise. You know, when we listen to a podcast, there's only one podcast for the lion, and it's the lion's voice. The lion's voice is the only voice that we listen to when we listen to a podcast. This is Jason Panton, Dubwise. Listen, get wise, lion's voice.
And I keep saying that this is the best time ever for creatives, and it's because finally we have the tools that if you are diligent, self-disciplined, you work hard, you have the best chance you ever had to be able to be full-time in your creative passion. Because we have this thing called the internet where we can connect directly with our audience or the people who love what we are doing. Notice I say you have the opportunity because nothing is guaranteed. Some people, it may not happen for them, and we want to be very clear with that. And with that, you need to pivot. You need to look and see what's working. If we started the Lion Voice Network and after 5 years we had 10 subscribers, it would be difficult to justify to I Queen and to those who are putting time that this is, a good use of time and effort.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice.
Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of his chosen queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka the Dejazmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man. I'm an entertainment attorney, I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I'm the host of the Lion Voice. Welcome to the Lion Voice Network, and also welcome to Lion Law, where we look at the law as it relates to the creative industry. We're examining the orange economy, which is known as the creative economy. So entertainment has many different aspects, and I want to be able to use what I do to provide value for the audience, which I know many of those watching, particularly in Rastafari, are creatives or have some type of creative energy. And one of the things that I want to do with this platform is help us to develop an economic base, maximum respect to everyone who has come over from our interview at I Never Knew TV. We did an interview at I Never Knew TV, doing very well on that channel. And that is also part of our creative ecosystem model in terms of collaboration and making sure that, that some cross-pollination of ecosystems is happening. So if you're here for the first time or you're here from the I Never Knew TV family, welcome to the Lion's Voice Network, and we will do our best to bring value to your day. For today's episode, I would like to continue to focus on the creative ecosystem model. In the I Never Knew TV interview, I said that the most revolutionary act a black man can do is to lead a black family. And I really stand on that sentiment, particularly for I within the Rastafari, which the majority of this channel, Rastafari content, does the best on the channel. We also know that over 95% of the channel is male. So when we're talking, we want, again, to bring value. And if we're talking about building a family, then we want to look at the economics of building a family, because we can talk about, yes, the moral aspect, purpose over. That's something that we can talk about, all of those elements. But to sustain on a day-to-day, every family requires economics. And this is why, as an actionist, coming forward with a platform and Maximum Respect, we reached the monetization threshold on the platform. So we're in that process of being reviewed for monetization. So big up the Lion Pride. All of the strength, we're 1,050 plus lions in the Lion Pride at the time of this recording. So we're growing rapidly. We hit the 1,000 subscriber mark on Friday, and now today we are 1,050 plus. So we give thanks to the Lion Pride. How do you become a part of the Lion Pride, you ask? If you subscribe, you're part of the Lion Pride. So again, Maximum Respect. Big up the Lion Pride on Patreon. 1,050 on the Lion Pride on YouTube, and we have 5 Fire Angels in the Patreon. So the core of your ecosystem are, these subscription services where your core fan, your core support, your people who want to invest in what you're doing, where they live. And big up, 5 people have joined the Patreon, Lion Pride on Patreon, and we will continue to add value on that Patreon so we can continue to grow that number. But again, today we want to just talk about the creative ecosystem model and talk about some of the legal aspects or legal considerations as you build out that model. So if you look at our last video from Lion Law, we laid out what the creative ecosystem is, and essentially is looking at your creative passion and generating multiple streams of income, but looking at it in the way that you would conceptualize a ecosystem that operates in nature. We are people of the earth, so it makes sense, how can we bring natural processes or natural ways of thinking, because we want to be a benefit on the earth. We want to be natural. So I want to talk about the creative ecosystem and what that means in terms of legal requirements, because business and law go hand in hand. And as we build out these creative ecosystems, we want to make sure that there are legal protections in place. So we want to do some deeper dives, and I'm going to spend the next few episodes of Lion Law really going deep into this whole creative ecosystem model, because that's what we've been working on, rolling out a system. And for myself as a creative, what the motivation is really to problem solve some of my own challenges. So we have so many things happening, so many balls in the air, so many pots on the fire. How can we organize these things into a cohesive ecosystem that are feeding each other, that are building on each other, that have a strong economic base, and make sure you're not just doing things, throwing things against the wall, but that there's a cohesive plan and that they're filtering into a larger system. So this is the creative ecosystem concept of dividing everything into the 3 areas and seeing how they fit. We're tweaking this all the time as we're building it out in real time, in the real world. Join us in the Patreon if you want to get in depth as we're building. But if you're part of the Lion Pride, you're going to get to see. And if you're not, just subscribe, because remember, if you subscribe, you're part of the Lion Pride. So everything, as I like to say as an actionist, everything that we talk about, we're putting into action. So if it's not working, the item will be able to see it's not working, because we're here, we're going to be transparent as we are implementing the same things that we are encouraging others to implement. That said, let's look at some of the legal considerations that go with production. And remember, with the ecosystem model, we have 3 distinct sections. We have production, consumption, and then we have reduction. So within the production segment, as a creative, you're coming and, I target my content toward working creative. That means you have some means of getting regular income. So we're looking at the three areas, which are production, consumption, and reduction. So when we're looking at production, we're looking at the working creative. You have some income coming in, and now you're looking to, how do I transition from working to just keep the lights on to taking some of that income, investing into my creative passion so that I can become full-time in that creative passion. This is the challenge that most creatives have, and I keep saying that this is the best time ever for creatives, and it's because finally we have the tools that if you are diligent, self-disciplined, you work hard, you have the best chance you ever had to be able to be full-time in your creative passion. Because we have this thing called the internet where we can connect directly with our audience or the people who love what we are doing. Notice I say you have the opportunity, because nothing is guaranteed. Some people, it may not happen for them, and we want to be very clear with that. And with that, you need to pivot. You need to look and see what's working. If we started the Lion Voice Network, and after 5 years we had 10 subscribers, it would be difficult to justify to I Queen and to those who are putting time that this is a good use of time and effort. We have put in the work to this part of the ecosystem, and the Lion Voice Network, to be clear, is only one part of the ecosystem, and we talk about that in the ecosystem model in terms of creation of creative hubs and these kind of things, which the Lion Voice Network for my ecosystem is a hub of all of the different things that I have interest. We put programming around it. So we want to get just deeper, and if you're working creative, the first thing in production that you want to look at from a legal perspective, of course, is the entity formation. You want some liability protection. We formed a company to do the Lion Voice Network. Highly Bonsu Unlimited is our company, our family company that runs these things, the book, other operations that we're doing on the creative side. We make sure that we put it through LLC structure. So with that, you're going to need an operating agreement and all of the things that come along with the entity formation. You're going to be building brands. So with brand formation comes brand protection. What we're talking about copyright, we're talking about trademark, making sure that your copy is copywritten, your trademark of your logo, of your name that you're doing business. All of these are the legal considerations that come with creative ecosystem development. We're also going to be looking at artist release forms, appearance release forms, because we do interviews, we do other things, and you're going to be interacting with third parties. So you're going to need to, if you're going to have them featured on your platform, you want to make sure you get those appearance release forms. You also want to make sure that you have templates in terms of service agreements. You might have people doing graphics, artwork to build, because one of the key things we have to understand with the production aspect, just because it's production creating that content, that doesn't mean that you independently always will be creating the good or service that you are offering. And you need agreements and contractual relations that help you to codify all of those aspects. There are new tools that are coming up. So, we see AI is also coming to the fore. What are the legal implications of using AI within your ecosystem? These are things in terms of how the entertainment attorney is important. And I did the team for independent artists, and I'm gonna have to modify and just do a general one about a team for every creative. What are the key people on your team that every creative needs? As I do more content, we refine, and that's the beauty of coming and having to produce a show every strong, is that it helps you to think and to really hone in on what the niche that we want to focus on. For it's going to be creative industry ecosystem development. I went to Howard University School of Law, which we learned about the great Charles Hamilton Houston, and he says that an attorney is either a social engineer or a parasite on society. So as a social engineer, how can we engineer sustainable creative industry ecosystems that allow creatives to be full-time in their passion? That is the purpose that we are really honing in here on the Lion Voice Network. It feeds into everything we're talking about in terms of the Black family, in terms of being able to establish an economic base for brethren so that they can sustain and help to guide a family. So that is really what we are dealing with here. So we're going to take the next few episodes and dive deeper into this creative ecosystem model, look at the legal implications, look at the different aspects as we build out this model, because I want the Lion Pride to be able to be full-time in whatever their creative endeavor is. And remember, as the Association of Rastafari Creatives has declared, farming is part of the creative industries, and farmers are creatives. So when we're talking about the creative industry, we're talking about a wide swath of activities that help to make this earth a better place. As I said in my I Never Knew TV interview as a brethren, you seek the Most High, you seek your purpose, and then you find that queen to implement. And I do believe that as you seek the purpose, you find the economic modality or the economic foundation of that purpose that allows you to live in that purpose and be sustained in that purpose. And again, all things shall be added as you make the world a better place serving the Most High. And this is really what we are going to, again, the next few weeks, hone in on this creative ecosystem model and all of the different elements. I'm looking forward. Drop your comments. Let's engage. Let's boost up the conversation. Why? Because the time has come for the Lions to own our own story. And this is Lion Law.
Lion Voice. Yeah. Haile Selassie, living legend. Ready to set thrones of judgment, thrones in the house of the great King David. Pray for the peace of the people. Well, just get this in your brain. Babylon and them got to fall like rain. Why are they falling? Let me explain. Well, them got used down in them shackles and them chains. Well, just get this in your brain. Babylon and them got to fall like rain. Why are they falling? Let me explain. Hey, them got used down in them shackles and them chains. Well, who go bust them big gun fake come that short boy brain? Who come bring them crack home down in the lane? Who designed the drugs the youths are pushing their veins? Well, tell me who a profit of the people's their pain? Ask them Babylon, them what is their aim? Why they treat the ghetto youths, them really should a shame. The Lion from the tribe of Judah break our chain. That's why the wicked man them get in fire and a flame. Yeah, just get this in your brain. Babylon them have to fall like rain. Why are they falling? Let me explain. Hey, youths down in them shackles and them chains. Hey, just get this in your brain. Hey, Babylon them fall like rain. Why are they falling? Let me explain. Hey, youths down in them shackles and them chains. Babylon them want the youth's imagination. Whole system designed to create adoration. Well, Babylon build prison, they build plantation. Go build tanks and them go build them war bombs. Babylon a beast, that me tell them all along. Them man a see the meek man defeated by the strong. Well, highly said I see one United Nations. If them forget the poor, war will spread in all them land.